also talk about entrapment into a life in the most frightening and scary ways that's actually really happening to me. Like, I was a poisoned up victim since I was like 4 or less, and I learned it by being 11 and having paperwork that basically read in the court documents that my dad would be poisoning me up in my bottle to like put me to sleep. I think it was much worse than just arsenic with my experiences. But either way, I think a lot of places in my life that was much worse than just arsenic poisoning. I speak out about the arsenic poisoning the most because I think that that's the main one that controlled my mind's ability to remember and to hold on to those memories, as to know how to reason through them, and also what to do. So it kept me there until I was 5 or 6, and then I had a little sunlight coming into my life. But as soon as that was there, my brothers were poisoning me, and I didn't have anywhere to go, and no one to truly turn to because I couldn't have known how to say what was happening to me. And I don't know what I said. Truthfully, I just said I needed to stay in my mom's room because of what was happening to me. But it was like I was just sick in other people's minds. I knew it for myself that wasn't the case, but by morning or by that late afternoon, I didn't have that memory to come back home with and explain it to people or even try to. And it was like the same thing all throughout my life. Like, in stages, staggered, needing to control me inside of a proxy, and also it felt to me like I was faced up with the covert warfare. And so I was trying to figure out the whole gang stalking efforts and the targeted individual community. And I studied COINTELPRO, and I studied CIA mind control programs. All of these things matched up together, like to work together in like a very demonic, satanic ritual abuse, to destiny swap and perform this energy harvesting, where all of my time essence, anything I could make for myself, was being siphoned away from me. And then on top of it, they get given situations where you just can't get out of. So I'm looking for like legal resources that should be out here to protect me. Or instead of getting any protection, I'm being entrapped, being cornered in my life, where if I go to work, they'll stop me And it's harder for me to do the physical labor that I was able to do when I was homeless, working like 150 hours a week and being on that grind. You know, like just if I don't make enough money and I don't like pay for 3 or work for 3 of me basically or more, I'm not gonna make it out of this abuse that's happening to me because I couldn't see it, like say going into an organic relationship where suddenly I'd be being hacked again. Suddenly I'd be defending myself from people trying to cause accidents, seemingly, and then suddenly I'd be faced up with covert poisoning and fighting that, and then also fighting the belief of others that I'm actually dealing with something that's like larger than what they're willing to recognize. And so I'm faced up with this war against me and this covert war, and then it's always leading me to not have anywhere to go. So who do you turn to? You turn to the people that you have Stockholm Syndrome with, thinking that you have family. And even if you do have some family on your side, the ones performing the crimes of poisoning me were the ones that were controlling my finances. Like I was their financier of many avenues of them stealing away money from me, and a lot of money, so they've been feeding their faces off of my energy and making money from it. So they're like literally feeding off of my name, like feeding their faces, feeding their kids, housing themselves, whatever they were using that money for. It's obviously built them this ultra externally looking life that it's just naturally them, but it's not. They're very much living an unnatural state of reality, because it doesn't matter where you got that money from. It's blood money. It's literally taking away my life away from me. So now I'm faced up with this, like getting away from them for months on end, like literally trying my best to like depart from their lives without them. You know, to me in my mind it was just me thinking like I just needed to depart my life from Jesse and depart and go my separate way from Aurelia and just go on my, you know, just go on my own without letting them know like I'm on to anything. Because I realized before that if I was being poisoned in St. Paul Park and that they're hacking me and hijacking me, if I let them know, then covert warfare that I've been experiencing just gets worse. And it did. So I didn't want to let them know. But they knew. And I could feel it within each and every relationship. Because my brothers never called me. Never called me. So they wanted something from me. And they'd love bomb me, or they'd manipulate in order to get whatever it is, whether it be information or my driver's license or just no matter what it is, suggesting that they got your back, but they never did. They never did have my back. They never were family towards me. They never were loving. They never were supportive. To perform this type of crime over my life, it's completely spiritual assassination, along with literally trying to assassinate you, to then have a person by proxy be able to have all of that information with Jesse, well, whoever else, in order to stage my life against me, to work against me, and then after killing me, taking away the rest of my time, essence, and energy, and everything that I've worked so hard for in my life. So now that I'm entrapped, and they have me stingrayed, now you can't get away. So they're trying to take every last thing away from me. Not only my ability to make it, which is like gone, but my availability to sync up a new way and a new motive to get away from the people performing the crime. So much so that I'm not offered any kind of asylum. I've searched. I've been looking for help. I've been looking for help regarding this very heavy crime about what I'm going through. In my last Hodgepodge, the HEARTWERKS Hodgepodge 13 session, it's like literally the best lyrics from like 40 minutes in to about 2 hours, 15 minutes. And then it's all good, it's all telling, but the most important part is I'd say an hour, 10 minutes in or so. Hour and 5 minutes, hour and 10 minutes in and onward. Because it explains a lot in the lyrics that it's just undeniable that what I'm faced up with is absolutely real. It's a covert operation. How they use Darvo tactics. And it's just very methodical. And I think it's very artistic as far as the creative efforts are concerned, as best as I can. Given my circumstance, it'd be cool if you listen to it. But I'm being entrapped in my life. I'm entrapped, and I was entrapped the first moment that I got this place. I was already fighting a covert poisoning, and it just got worse. I was actually going without memory of Jesse. I was going to Jesse and tell him on the phone, like, it's just much worse since I moved out here. And I'm being gang stalked, like, big time. Like, someone really doesn't want me around, and I really have to figure out who that somebody is and where it all comes from, because it has ties within certain police, predictive policing, and it has certain ties with how people are willing to cover up the tracks of my father, cover up the tracks of, whatever. But if I'm bringing that information right to a perpetrator, which I was, and my brothers, they're trading information that they've hacked away from me, like they're trading baseball cards, and ideas that they chalk up on their drawing boards on how to make me a chalk line. And that's what their goal is to literally take my life so they can have all of the areas of my life to go live in. Jesse had said when I was in Elk River. But see, I just don't have these memories because of the poisoning. And then, so if you go in for help from the medical community, they just don't believe that it's real. Or they have occultists even inside of different places that you go to for help. So you call 211. You perform the paperwork for identity theft. You submit all your proof there. You submit all your proof to the police. Well, what's being done? What investigations are being done? Because they're just literally taking what I'm doing and making what I'm doing into the crime itself to prevent me from life of any kind of origination of myself at all. And then they're taking my life from me, my livelihood. And then by the financial resources that you need, not only being able to work, but just being able to secure your accounts, for crying out loud. Stages you up in places where, you gotta wait a couple days to be able to get gas. So you can make it to the bank and take out cash, which I wasn't able to at the time. So it's just a whole lot of forced breaks. So they've been not only gaming up my brake system, my car, now it's like they're after my everything. Every last thing, not just my life and my livelihood, but my energy, the gas, my house, the deed to my house, life insurance policy, my equity, my car, my insurance, my job, the roof over my head, no matter what it is, safety nets, the police ability, or the medical community, and anybody's ability to help me stop this crime in my life. And then I know there's like 2 million or more charities out there, and there's even that much more churches. And so I try and get a hold of these places. I try and get a hold of churches, charities, journalists, news channels, news stations, Congress, the damn president himself. I try and get a hold of people, and I try and get a hold of people that don't have any power, who just aren't in this situation thinking they can create a campaign, like a funding campaign. They don't have to use my face and image. They don't have to let these people know that that's what they're trying to do for me. They can just say it's for the community action, just a community vulnerability. They're trying to raise 200,000 or 50,000 or 10,000 or 7,500. It doesn't matter what that number is. It's just will you create one to try and help me out of this entrapment. Otherwise, my whole life has been entrapped since I was birthed. And because of the psychological operations, my mom couldn't protect us alone. She needed help back then, and the help that she was offered landed us homeless. So we stayed with my auntie, but it was because of that covert abuse. where if it had been happening in the beginning, in the first place, that she would have been fine. As fine as a mother can be raising 4 children on her own. And given the monstrosity of crime against me, well, I think she did a fascinating job. My brothers can go out and think whatever they want to, but they've been poisoning me, so they're going to deflect, they're going to minimize, they're going to call it delusional. But they literally didn't want me doing anything, not just coming out here speaking, but they literally didn't want me to do any of it, no matter what it was. It didn't even matter if I liked Legos or dominoes or whatever it was. Growing up, it'd be just the same thing. Be like just about setting up the dominoes, and they'd be like waiting for the appropriate time to just fuck up my fun. Like, 50 pieces to go to set it up and allow me to push it over and be like, hey, see you guys, this is fun, this is cool. I know it's all of 3 seconds and whatnot, but I was a kid, and they used anything that I found enjoyment in, no matter what it was, in order to hurt me. I mean, in things as little as that, growing up, they used to hurt me. Psychologically, I was left without any love in my life. That would just leave me feeling entrapped, unsafe, and very unhealthy, and very abusive relationships with these people. So, I just wanted to reiterate how absolutely scary that the situation is. And yeah, I'm gonna, I take these videos and I post them in the future. But I hope people are willing to listen to me. And I hope that people can actually help me do something with my life. I would just like to get away from the abuse, thanks. If there isn't that kind of thing made available, I don't know, it's just scary. Because that's how they get away with, literally taking away people's lives. And then you have, these people running around out here completely free to be murderers. All the innocents just get stomped out of a person. And like the Manchurian Candidate type of idea, it's to take a person and fracture them to create that duality. Leave them so traumatized in a reality that they can't see out and they can't see inward to compartmentalize. I've been compartmentalizing since I can remember. And it's the only way I've ever been able to make it through it. And to learn it, for what it is happening to me. So it's all very scary. How Jesse Lee, 2 blocks away from me, shit, in the past 2 years, has probably poisoned me more times than I can count to tell you the truth. Including proxy. Shoot. Hundreds of times. But see, that's the scariest ordeal because I wholeheartedly believe that my last relationship with Aurelia, if she had known that I was fighting this since I was 3, I don't think that she would have taken the money or the bribe or anything. I think that she would have been helping me spin, the Kill Bill type of movie type of situation. And, yeah. You seen the movie Kill Bill? Kill Bill 2? Yeah. Charlie's Angels. You seen that movie? Yeah. And yeah. I'm not suggesting to anything violent. I'm literally just suggesting to the truth of what happens in situations. I mean, literally people have done these things. So, in the origination of coming out of long-standing poisoning where they're pushing me to react and I'm not giving them anything time and time again, it's a crime. Hacking me is a crime. Controlling my life, espionage, affairs is a crime. Coming up into my home when I'm not here, unannounced guests, is a crime. Staging my life in this fashion is a crime. Espionage is a crime. Leaving a person entrapped inside of all that abuse. No matter if it's coming from 2, 12, 22, or 82 people, it's a crime. And I believe wholeheartedly it's a crime of conspiracy. They're conspiring, and that's a crime. It's a crime of sedation, poisoning. Those are crimes. It's just crime written all over my life. To rewrite my life. Going back to their drawing boards to try and keep their faces vitally safe from harm. It's all crimes. Every last piece of it. So I'm hoping I can reach representation and a resounding effort out here by somebody that's willing to help me. Because I would like a new name. I would like to reach asylum somehow from these people. I would like to go and live with Andrew Tate for however long. I would like to go live with an influencer. Actually have support to get me a new name and passport ID, whatever I would need to move forward with whatever life I could live left from all that abuse. I don't know how to go about getting any of it. I mean, when you have supporters that are younger and they totally support you and actually tell you that they believe you. They come up to you and they say, I'm following you and I'm one of your supporters and I believe you. I want you to know that. I believe you. Well, that's really an amazing feeling because you can't even so much as get that from these people in a sincere fashion that are doing these things. And you think at one point growing up, like, maybe there's family feuding going on, whatever, inside of that kind of way. You think by the time you turned 18, at least, or like 20, that they just decide to change. But I think that in my situation, their consciences were at play. And I blame myself for not being able to see and hold on to the memory enough to at least just run away from home and come back for my sister and my mom. But I didn't know. I wish I did. Because I've been dealing with pain in my chest for like really extreme the past 3 years or longer. And then I've been dealing with this pain in my chest from the arsenic since good grief. Forever, like, I want to say like 22 years, 23 years. And not a medical community or anything does anything for me, right? And that's just the truth. They don't care about my health. They care about the symptoms that arsenic creates. And it creates diabetes. And it mimics so many other things and diagnoses that they run with the diagnoses. They don't care about the underlying cause or your environment or any of that. On the physical level, in your actual environment, or the spiritual level, with the shape of your family and stuff. It just, everyth's all subsidized to therapy, and then you need psychotropic medication from the psychiatrist because you're the one that's unwell, even when it's forced, like this. So it's like, you're like literally forced into just having to accept those things when I never would have if I knew that, like I was going to experience those, like, my literal knees like locked up. I couldn't walk, I couldn't run, I couldn't rollerblade, I couldn't do anything but crawl home. And it hurt, like, I don't know if that was a combination between the arsenic and, the psychotropic medication that they had me on. I just didn't know, but I worked at a group home and I was studying medications. So, because I was studying medications, I studied my own, and I'm like, whoa, hold the phone. I've experienced like a good 80-90% of these side effects, and I am not cool with that at all. I'm gonna get off of these things. And it just created a nightmare inside of my body because they make them to be addictive. They want you on pills for your big cartel run game. Oh shit, if I was still taking those medications at that point, oh man, there'd be many years where I'd already probably be dead. Among many other areas, if I wasn't studying the covert warfare and psychological abuse and targeted individual community and psychological warfare and eugenics operations and MKUltra and just whatever information I could find, just study. Right. Study. Right. There would be no way I would be here. No way. Without actually trying to be a person that thinks for themselves about these things that are happening in the world. It's incredible. It's incredible, yo. Anyway, thanks for being here. I'm gonna get off of this video, and I just really hope that I can find your help and find some supporters out here that, even if they don't have like financial help to give me, that maybe they can think to themselves like, I'm gonna create a campaign for this guy, and I'm gonna try and share it every day on my Facebook and X account, whatever. And hopefully that if you can raise up some money for me, I wholeheartedly believe that if I'm able to get out the HEARTWERKS website, that it would definitely transform both of our lives. So, till the next one, I hope that you all are taking care of yourselves. I'm trying my very, very best. It's just been a nightmare of entrapment and abuse that's just been non-stop in my life. Thanks to all of these cucks. Anyway, peace out. It's just a fact that Jesse Lee and these people are just sick people. They corroborated with other people, including my very own brothers, and it facilitated the crimes of poisoning, gaslighting me, psychological warfare all over my life. It blocked me from establishing any true authentic self or any relationship and connection that I could have had. They've hacked me as well as enabled these proxy relationships to take me away from ever having any kind of organic relationship, to enhance their control over my life, and use many scenes involving my love life to stage it up.